Welcome to the We Win Injury Law podcast. I am Tyler Todd, your host, sitting here with my co-host Jared, the Snow Canyon Man Sandberg. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good. You just like saying that to me.
That's really what it was.
I've had family members reach out and say, like, I finally watched that movie, and now I know what Tyler's saying to you every time it says good afternoon.
Well, we just... If you watched Spirited over the Christmas holiday or over the holiday, I don't know why I feel like I have to, like, not say Christmas. You know what? I was having this conversation recently, and we're going to talk about Utah and Utah suing big tech companies in this podcast, but I want to like say something real quick. I was talking to somebody over the Christmas holiday, and I'm like, why can't we say Christmas? You know what? Because if I say Merry Christmas, because we were walking along the beach and we're walking, like, we're out and about, and we were like, Merry Christmas. And people were like, some people responded, Merry Christmas, and some people didn't. And I'm like, oh, shoot, should we have not said Merry Christmas? Maybe they were Jewish, or maybe they were atheist, or maybe they were from...
One of them doesn't celebrate holidays.
Maybe they're
altogether.
Muslim, or...
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
Yeah. Probably different reason.
For whatever reason. And I'm thinking to myself, why can't we all just be appreciative that I am giving you, like, an expression of, like, gratitude or seasonal greeting in my form of wanting to say Merry whatever, right?
In the same vein, if someone said like Happy Hanukkah to you,
I'd say Happy Hanukkah.
You wouldn't be like offended.
No, I'd be like Happy Hanukkah, rad.
Yeah.
Or what is it in Islam, or what is it in Judaism?
Well, Judaism is Happy
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. I don't know if they have an equivalent.
What if someone said Happy Xmas? I'd say Happy Xmas.
Yeah, or any holiday that they celebrate. I need to know more of that. I know it's like Ramadan and all those.
Yeah, I don't know.
But just like Good Friday, I've had people say Good Friday.
Good Friday. That's where I'm like, why do we have to? If someone were to express to me their
happy holiday,
whatever it is, I feel like I would be happy right back to you, whatever that was.
Yep.
Right? And so if it's Merry Christmas, then a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why people are like, well, I don't celebrate that, so I can't say that.
Yeah.
Well, you're just being kind to somebody. Like,
yeah.
I didn't convert you in the 2 seconds that I didn't convert you to Christianity by saying Merry Christmas, nor am I intending to.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to give you a greeting.
Wishing them a holiday, a very, what's American holiday.
Well, something that we celebrate.
We celebrate
like,
a lot.
If we're celebrating Christmas that morning and we're like just in a good spirit, we're like, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Maybe it's just people bah humbugging you.
Maybe. So for you, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to all those people who didn't Merry Christmas.
Yeah, to all those that refuse to say Happy Hanukkah or whatever. Good afternoon to all of you. All right, look, real quick, we got to talk about something. This is actually really interesting stuff, and it's super important because I think it's becoming more and more of an issue in all of our lives. Utah versus big tech, and it's really interesting that Utah has taken kind of the lead on this. The state of Utah is suing Snapchat and TikTok over children's safety law, consumer protection laws, for the very purpose of protecting our children. And it's super interesting when we think about, and we all know it, we're all talking about it in our individual circles, in our individual homes. Major podcasters, Theo Vaughn is talking about it. Joe Rogan's talking about it. They're all talking. Mark Zuckerberg. Theo Vaughn was even asking Mark Zuckerberg on his podcast about whether Instagram, Facebook has liability for child abuse, child predators, maybe even like depression, right? Addiction. Because social media is just like an addiction like anything else.
Well, and it's interesting, like, do you feel like this is like our generation's like, no, cigarettes don't cause cancer? Like, I think we all can agree with the premise that social media is like terrible for youth, especially. Like as adults, we can't stop scrolling, right? We talk about this on the podcast all the time. Like, wait until you get there to scroll, right? Like, don't do it while you're driving. I just think that
We're all there. And even I was dropping off with some friends yesterday to their home, and they have a young son. And I won't say how old he is, but pretty young. He's got a TikTok channel. And I was like, hey, I saw all your TikToks. Like, they're awesome, man. Like, keep up the good work. And dad was like, oh, he loves to hear that. Like, that's like, because, and it's just interesting. And I think it's cool, right? It's a
Yeah.
little bit of entrepreneurial spirit. But then it's like all the things that our children are exposed to. Where do we draw the line on safety of our children and like you said, addiction, and do these big tech companies have exposure, and do they have liability?
well, there's these countries that have like I think even outlawed social media for kids under 18. There's this movement in Utah right now and a bunch of other states to like no cell phones in school and all these things. Like we all know they're not great, but then you have some of them that I feel like maybe are a little more predatory with the Snapchat, the disappearing messages. I think some of those platforms maybe are even more so than others on maybe their culpability on fostering kind of these communities where parents can't even, you can't go check your kid's Snapchat, right? It's maybe a little different than they can still delete a message on Instagram, but at least with Snapchat and some of these that have the disappearing messages, how do you even know, even if you're a parent that's trying to check those things, how do you know that some predator hasn't sent your kid a message that presumably disappears?
Right, and we warn our children all the time of that stuff, right? Hey, if you interact with somebody online, you don't know if it really is the person they're representing to be. They could be, I don't know, some deranged old man that says I'm 12.
Yeah, the cute kid that wants to meet your daughter.
Right.
You worry is some like 50-year-old trucker that's going to kidnap them because
Right.
those kind of stories have happened.
Wait, are truckers kidnappers?
I'm just saying there's been some stories out there because I've read them to my kids because I'm like, it's your worry. It's like, hey, you don't know who's on the other side of this. It's all truckers.
They're all those truckers out there.
I'm glad that we have good truckers because they keep the world around, but not the kidnapper truckers.
Not the kidnappers.
I'm a kidnapper one.
No, you're right. But that's the concern, right? So a little context. On June 30th of 2025, so just 6 months ago or so, the Utah Attorney General and the Division of Consumer Protection filed a complaint against Snap Inc., the parent company of Snapchat. And the lawsuit alleges that Snapchat designed dangerous and addictive features that target kids, including its AI chatbot, and the psychological hooks that exploit young users. According to the state, Snapchat marketed the platform as safe, but has failed to protect children from criminal exploitation, addictive design, and even drug sales. Wow. With networks that are operating within the app.
My sister told me, side note, sorry, that she used to buy drugs on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, and they would like ship to her house.
No way. Like legit illegal drugs.
Yeah.
Shipped to her house.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like when she was in college.
No kidding.
But that, like, on the one hand, you're like, it's shocking because it's crazy. But on the other hand, you're like, these platforms that, like, you post anything and they'll flag you. And yet at the same time, you
Stuff
hear these
like that
stuff like
happens.
that happens all the time. And you feel like they're not taking any effort to really. And it's like the cigarette companies back in the 70s, like, no, we don't want kids to smoke, but like we'll make it really cool and put it in the movies and we'll do all these things to addict kids because we know if we can addict them when they're little, they'll be a lifelong addict, right? And so if you're these social media companies, I think they turn a blind eye to the stuff that's happening to kids and these kind of things because
How old was your
then you're
sister at the
addicted
time?
to it.
Well, college.
College
Like
age.
an adult, yeah.
Okay. So adult, but still kid. Pretty soon we're going to have drones delivering those illegal drugs to our house.
Yeah.
That's scary, though, because that's obviously not what the intended use, right? The intended use was like community, like connection.
Yeah.
Right. I think for years we were like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in 20 years, and we connect on Facebook, and how cool that is, and look at you.
Well, and it's like it's just funny how the trend has gone, right? Because with Facebook, it was all the people I know, or at least knew back in high school. It was like reconnecting.
Right.
Then Instagram was like, I'm not maybe gonna add you and you and you because I want my little maybe closer friendships, and I just want to see the pictures from people. And now we've got a TikTok where it's like, I don't want to see anyone I know. I want this to be other people. Like, we just keep getting further and further. Like, I want content from someone I'll never meet.
Well,
You know?
yeah, that's the interesting levels of like connection. Is Facebook just the most personal, or they're the general?
Yeah.
Instagram is the more personal, and then Snap, and I don't have Snap, but
Yeah.
TikTok's just like the everybody.
Yeah.
And like, well, because you do look,
You
and
can't-
on the flip side, the creativity, right, of
Yeah.
these social influencers is unbelievable. We talk in our house all the time that movie stars, I think, are becoming less and less relevant, and the social media influencers are becoming more relevant. If you saw, like, for example, Alex Earl, who was on Dancing with the Stars, and she's a TikTok, well, I think everything influencer,
Tom Brady.
making out with Tom Brady, right? I mean, I think if you see her out in public right now, she has more fame than, let's say, Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't watch the Globes last night, but they were on. That's where it's like social media and TikTok is becoming so powerful, right? That those influencers are becoming more famous than what we've historically known to be the famous people and the famous celebrities that are movie stars.
Well, and if you look at like, you start talking about a clever social media person or a clever video you saw with friends, and they've already seen it. Versus name the like 5 through 10 biggest movies of last year that were in theaters. I can probably name the top 3.
I can't even name what Wicked, maybe.
Wicked and the new Avatar.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen either of the two.
We just went and saw it. It felt like the same as the other 2.
What was the top movie from last year, guys?
Avatar crossed $1 billion, but I think some of that was into this year.
Avatar, that was it.
Wicked. That's
I
what I'm saying.
I haven't been to the movie theater like in 3 years.
Versus, I'll tell you about a video.
Oh, everyone's talking about Housemaid. Yeah, that's
I'd never even heard of it. Never even heard of House.
yeah. See, well, my wife went to that one. Apparently, she wouldn't take me, but
I don't think we're girls.
yeah.
Oh, so it was
I'm
like,
just kidding. Not that she wouldn't take me, but no. But I haven't been to the movie theater in years,
No.
and so do people still go? Of course,
Yep.
but it's just interesting. So some of the key legal claims, real quick. The state of Utah's lawsuit makes several claims, and these are a few of them. Snapchat's features are unconscionable business practices under Utah law. Okay, so it basically violates consumer protection laws.
Yep.
The company misrepresented safety protections for children, which is I think it's very, very, very true. It has violated Utah Consumer Privacy Act by failing to disclose data practices and opting out options. Well, at its core, all that stuff is true. And you think about like these options that are there, but they're really hard to find. For example, you're an Apple user. I'm an Apple user. With the new update or whatnot with Apple Music, have you noticed like the songs? And if you guys are listening, like the songs, like the song will start to end, and then the other one starts to play. Did yours do that?
I don't use Apple Music that much.
You don't?
We use Prime because we have those little pucks in our house that are the Alexa pucks.
Oh yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
Prime Music.
So you're Prime Music.
Prime Music.
Gotcha. Well, Apple on this new like thing started making so the song when it starts
Blends into the next
and it
one.
blends into the next one, which I didn't like because I'm like I want to finish the end of the song, and I like sometimes with some songs I like the intro,
Yeah.
and then it was like playing like 20 seconds or 30 seconds into the next song, and you're like, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it off.
Yeah.
And finally, my daughter is like, "Dad, you got to go here, then and turn it
Yeah.
off." But I say that because some of these options, these privacy options, and some of these things that these companies hide behind, they're there, but it's just really hard to find.
Well, and like you think about some of it too. Like there are some apps like my kids use the Gab phone, right? That where the company is like specifically designed it for parents, right? They can't add contacts that aren't on their phone. Like I have to add contacts. So if they want to like call one of their friends and things. So there's ways to do it. There's apps out there. It's just some of these biggest ones, which are the most popular apps. Like if my assumption is Snapchat's in the top 5 of most downloaded apps out on there on the internet, and in the App Store or the Google Play Store. And I think Utah's at least making the strong point of, hey, you're the biggest ones out there. You guys got to get it together. And hopefully that then trickles down to, if I'm the 50th most popular app, I'm hopefully seeing that going, oh crap, we do have to think about this. We do have to maybe make some protections. And they do it in other countries. That's what's crazy, is like the European Union or some of these other countries will pass
Very
laws.
strict.
And like, these companies can do it. And then they're like, we won't do it here.
Well, it's the same thing with our food. We talk about like European food being significantly healthier than what we have here in the U.S. because they say it's not. You can't put that in your food.
And if like I'm gonna say like what good governance should do, it's stuff like this, right? Like
Right.
if there's something I want like our local Utah government to go after, it's like I'm cool with them protecting kids and holding big companies accountable if they won't. Because I don't think Utah's looking to get rich from Snapchat. What you assume on these types of lawsuits is that they're trying to get some change done.
Well, absolutely. That's the second battle with TikTok. The third lawsuit focuses on TikTok's live feature, which allegedly exposes minors to sexual exploitation and predatory behavior. And so then recently a Utah judge just denied TikTok's motion to dismiss, meaning the case can move forward in court, which is going to be quite interesting. And this is a big deal because it does show that courts are willing to like say, hey, allow states to say, look, we're going to protect our children.
Yeah.
And these big corporations that are obviously doing business within the state, you got to figure this out. And that's something that, and I'm glad that Utah's taking the lead on this because my children are exposed to it. Your children are exposed to it. All of our children are exposed to it. We all know that these are issues in our households. And it's hard as parents because we've talked about this too. Like as parents, you want your children to like have friends
Yeah.
and be social.
You don't want to be the weird kid.
No, and so much of their social interaction with their friends and peers are online
Yeah.
and on Snapchat or wherever it is. So it's that balance of like, yeah, you want your kids to be social and have friends, but then be like protected.
Well, it's like, and it's so funny because you wish like my assumption is if you were to get all the parents of like, let's take the high school over at Crimson Cliffs, that's an easy example. If you were to get all the parents together in a room, do a straw poll on like how many of us think our kids should be on social media. My guess is overwhelmingly into the 90s probably
Would say no, they shouldn't.
would say
be.
no, they shouldn't be. And yet none of us can because that like fear of being left out is so high that we then get our kids a cell phone sooner than we think we should. We then let them get on social media sooner than we think they should because you don't want your kid to be the one left out of these things when all of the parents are thinking the same
Sarah.
thing. And if they're not going to do it, well, what? I'm not going to be like you don't want to say Amish, but that's how it feels.
You're
like
right,
that's the argument your kid makes is like even I've got a 12-year-old, she's a 7th grader, and I've got her telling me every day, all the other kids have cell phones.
Right,
And when I talk to other kids' parents, they're like, no, they don't.
right.
But at least the one kid that does have a cell phone that everyone uses and sees content on and has all these features like Snapchat, they're like the popular kid.
Right.
And so then you're at fear of being left out. And so I love when the state of Utah is, hey, we'll take the charge. We'll go stop some of these predatory things. I love that.
Well, there's got to be accountability on the parent, like one, the state, which is amazing. Two, even local levels, high school levels. That's really important because I feel like there's such a conflict too between even parents and even the high schools. And I think the high schools are doing the best they can, and the school districts are doing the best they can. But there's got to be accountability of exploitation of the minors and any sort of sexual behavior in any way. It cannot be tolerated.
Nope. Zero tolerance.
And that's why it's such a big deal because it should be a zero tolerance. And that's why when we talk to off camera with our editors, if they can go steal a president in the middle of the night, or if they can shut down your account for stupid stuff, how do they not shut down any sort of predatory behavior by anybody?
Yeah.
And even if it smells a little bit of it, you get shut down.
Yeah.
There's got to be accountability because we have to protect our children, and I think that's something that, and not just our children, but maybe our seniors, right? How many times you hear about our seniors that are being taken advantage of by online predators that are taking advantage of sweet grandmothers and stealing everything they have.
I'm convinced that's the folks down at that are allowing wire transfers to Somalia. I think
Right.
if I was going to say the next other fight to protect seniors should be Walmart or all these places should not allow you to send a cashier's check. Or when someone comes into a Walgreens and buys $2,000 worth of Amazon gift cards, there should be some accountability for some of these businesses that they know exactly what's happening.
Right. Right. It's just hard because they know, they do not know. Anyways, we've got to figure it
But
out.
protecting the consumer, right? That's
Yeah.
what you hope your consumer protection agency within your state and then at the federal level, you hope that they're doing that. And this at least seems like a lawsuit in the right direction. And I love it that
It'll
it's
be
moving
interesting
forward.
to see how it moves forward throughout the year as we get into 2026. And as parents, we can all do better.
Yeah.
Watch Asher children, talk to them, find those options that are allegedly there to protect. Put on the features that hopefully protects our privacy, does a little bit more to monitor against predatory acts and abusive behavior. And that's the only thing we can do is to make sure we're protecting our own and taking accountability. So you guys, thanks for always tuning in. We appreciate it. Like today's podcast, share, subscribe to our channel. We appreciate the support. It'll be interesting to see how this goes with the city of Utah leading the way against Snapchat, TikTok, and all these other big social media platforms. It'll be interesting to see what these big companies do in regards to like accountability for addiction and social media. It's going to be a wild ride in 2026. I'm excited to see it. So stay tuned in. Until next time, you guys, good afternoon.